I just want to talk about the legacies we leave behind and the stories we create. I'm currently working on one of my books. I've got about 3 or 4 in development actually, and they're all focused on helping people heal, see the value in their lives, and past the illusions of society. So I look at the legacy that I'm creating, and I'm like, wow, I didn't see this when I started my journey, And I think that's what's really important, is that character building is a process, and legacies don't happen just overnight. They're built over time, like a timeline. So everything we do builds towards who we ultimately become, the opportunities we create, and then how people remember us. Now, some people, maybe they don't want to be remembered. Some people do. But what do you want to be remembered for a good or bad? Most people for good, but they don't end up doing good things. So where's the legacy of good going to come from? This isn't a promotional for me. That's why I'm not showing my books. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just sharing the legacy that I've been creating, and I'm incredibly proud when I reflect upon it. Because I'm writing I've got a few books in development. To start with what I've already done, I've gone through a trauma and separation from my daughter, which I shared through my Father's Daughter series, and that is showing hurdles through family court, the emotional trauma, the separating from a parent and a child. It's incredibly traumatic for both of us. Then what happened after family court and the trauma that continued through that. Then I went on so that's those 2 books. That's a Father's Daughter series. There's 2 books at the moment. Then I went on a huge spiritual journey. I've done a spiritual book, Losing Mind to Find Your Soul. So that's helping people through a spiritual awakening. Those that start to see past the illusions of society, start to realize there's more to life than meets the eye. And that will help people through that, so they won't feel alone when they go through their own transition. It's like other people have gone through similar. We are seeing similar signs. You'll have things that are unique for you, but there's beauty in the transformation. Then after that, I've gone on and focused on another journey where I'm like, I don't want to force my beliefs onto people. I want to help people through their own lives. And again, see past the illusions of society, though, and focus on your own life rather than base your life on other people's expectations. When I look at my own life, for instance, I witness parents and things, where they've saved up for a pension. My stepdad died of cancer before he even got a chance to enjoy his pension. Worked his ass to death. It just reached a point where I'm watching someone work and work and work, and never got to truly enjoy the fruits of that labor. It's that society just keeps crippling us at every turn. No matter how hard you work, just the more money gets taken away, and most people end up dying in debt. It's a crazy existence. So I was like, I don't want to live that life. I'm focused more on my sort of mental well-being. I'd rather be happy. It's like my happiness isn't dependent upon finances and money. It's not. But then that's what we're taught to believe, is that keep grabbing that like a fool's gold, like the pirate's treasure. So I'm sort of, in my books, I'm sort of covering that, and it's a case of like, what does happiness actually mean to you? Because when you get away from the illusions of what happiness is for society's guidelines, what their expectation is, you realize that actually you're far happier with living a different life. It doesn't mean you can't have money, and it doesn't mean you can't acquire it and work hard for it. But it's like finding that balance in life. It's not all about that. So just lose that need for it, really. It's like, don't base your life solely on that, because you'll end up living a very lonely existence when probably that wasn't what your happiness was or what you thought. It's an illusion, So that's kind of where I've been going. And now I've got another book that's in development. So at the moment, I've got 3 books. I've got another spiritual book. I've got another book based on this. In fact, what it was, I was seeing a lot of crime and hate, and it was really annoying me. And that made me going to write this next book. So it's about healing hate, and then it's going through that, overcoming. Again, it's more of a self-healing book. And yeah, that one's nearly finished. That one won't take me too long. Then I've got a spiritual book, but I've also got another one I'm incredibly excited about, and that's freedom and politics. I've literally just posted a video about homeschooling. And it's like, I think that's a very interesting side to go down, because again, it's not just about self-healing. It's focusing on how society is being dictated and controlled by governments and people that wield power for their greed and dominance, and it's like, that bothers me a lot too. So again, when I look at how far I'm coming on my journey, and I look at what I've been creating, that's a legacy that's been built for years, but it's also through the character that I've been building and the knowledge that I share. So I am leaving a legacy that is far bigger than I ever dreamed of. You know, it's like, again, it's not about the current circumstance, is it? It's about, if we're going to look at legacies, it's what contribution are you giving to those around you? You know, it doesn't have to be so widespread that you're doing it for humanity, but even those closest to us is the legacy. You know, well, how do our kids remember us? How do our siblings remember us? You know, and then it's like the wider community after that. But you know, what do you want to be remembered for, if at all? And it's like, take steps towards that. You know, I think even if it's just about being a good person, you know, have humility, have kindness, be fair to people. I think that's just a nice way to be remembered. I think if you're remembered as a dark, narcissistic, greedy person who's power hungry, selfish, it's like, that's not really great traits, is it? And if that's not what you want to be remembered, maybe look at your lifestyle and consider where you went wrong. You know, is that your own sort of mental personality, really? Is that your own personality traits, or is that something ingrained within you? Have people around you been encouraging you just to keep taking and taking and taking, and focusing solely on money, which just becomes pointless because that materialism really doesn't do us any good in the end? Again, nothing wrong with having those things, but I think when you base your life on it, it's not great. I watch these influencers and I can't help but look how pathetic it is, but that's just my opinion of it all. You know, these influencers surround themselves with other influencers. All they're doing is interested in just being in the spotlight continuously because they just want that bling. But it's a very superficial life where none of them trust each other. None of them truly like each other. They're always in competition, but they act like best friends in front of the cameras because they're trying to see who can give me a boost in popularity. And even those that are popular are trying to keep themselves relevant. And it's a really merry-go-round of nonsense. And eventually they're going to be people are just going to be fed up with it. So they're going to have no platform anymore. They're going to have no audience. And they'll keep trying to latch on. So effectively, they'll try to be smart and use intelligence eventually because they'll have nowhere else to turn. And they'll try and latch on to someone who can help them with that because then they've got another platform to try and build again. But it's really like people need to have some sort of like boundaries with that nonsense, you know? Like if any of that nonsense tried to come near me, you know, I got no chance because I'm not interested in a popularity contest. They've got nothing you can give me, you know? They're going to learn from me far more than I'm going to learn from them. So I wouldn't give my time to it, you know, because I'm only interested in sincere, genuine people that actually want to do good things with their life, want to help other people, not just for the sake of a popularity contest, you know, and trying to elevate themselves above someone else because that's no interest to me. So again, the legacies are what we create. These supposed influencers, they're creating their legacy. And at the moment, yeah, it's popular. In let's say 10, 20 years, are we going to look at them as popular? Are we going to think they're childish and pathetic morons? I mean, that's the legacy, isn't it? You see these people, they're trying to do YouTube, for instance, or they're trying to do video content, and they're just screaming and that, and you can see that's not natural. It's over sensationalized. At the moment, that's interesting, but I think eventually people are going to be bored of it. And it's not going to look great on camera. You're going to go, what the hell was that person doing? You know, that's so extreme, exaggerated. And I think, yeah, anyway, so society changes, but how do we want to be seen, you know? Who are we at our core?